So what do we have here? We have Team Liquid versus Gambit. First map, it's Icebox. What are the compositions like? Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, so yeah. Oh my. What can I definitely say is Team Liquid has a big problem. And the big problem is Scream cutting the Aiden choices, man. Like, he's super skilled, but the fact is that he's playing Reyna, man. He's playing Reyna when they on Icebox and they don't have a Jet. This is like cutting your team's options by tenfold. You know? It's like, look, there's this issue with hey Alexandra. There's this issue with just essentially fucking over the entire team by not doing some stuff. Like let's talk about some examples. Let's go valorant. Hello, Dark Wolf. We go to Icebox, and now we have Reyna, right? Reyna is like, oh yeah, well, I can walk. I can walk here and peek. Can walk here and peek. I can walk here, and so on. And that's it, right? But when they play Jet, the options are, when I have knives, I can double updraft here and try to get a kill on long. I can always updraft and start the round at the container. I can always start the round at the top of tube. I can always start the round on the box here. I can dash into, like, let's say King and hold that angle if it's like smoked off or something. Like, there's so many options on attack that are suddenly taken away from your team that your opponents play completely differently. Like, they don't have to worry about being dashed on. They don't have to worry about vertical positions just because you don't play it. Like, you play Yampion Chamber. That is like... the difference is staggering. Like, if this team comp would have been using Jet instead of Reyna, I would have been I would say fantastic. Like, it would be the most meta comp in my eyes, right? Because Chamber is like super impactful on defense. It's like a Killjoy and Jet combined, so you get the best of the two worlds, and you have so much impact. But with Reyna, you're limiting yourself so much. Like, if I would be playing against this team comp on Icebox, I'll be like, oh yeah, fantastic, bro. They have a useless character, and now we have like this ability to play different angles because we're not gonna be pushed off by a Jet, you know? Hey Garrett, how you doing? Like, it's I don't know. It's very awkward. It's very awkward. But let's speak about Gambit's team comp. So we have standard Viper, Jet, Sage, Sova. So it's like the basic, right? The basics that you kind of need. Sage is like one of those characters that maybe you don't need, maybe you need it a lot because the B side becomes suddenly way more difficult to plant even after the changes to the box. She's very important to just cover the angles from Snowman. And Shadows on KO is something that is actually great on attack, less impressive on defense, but on attack, KO is gonna be one of the most picked agents in general over the course of all maps, because a good KO suddenly changes the map to be attackers based. With the ability to shut down sites. Like, it's actually insane how impactful KO is on attack. On defense, I would definitely prefer a Chamber here, but both are very good options. Chamber has the upside of building up the economy with the ult and the pistol, which is super nice, right? But KO has the insanely impactful attack side, which you can't really say about Chamber. And when you combine the aspect that they have both those, right? So they have flashes that are actual flashes and are insanely good, and you have ability to second recon and shut down defenses as well. You combine that with a good jet player, and you're suddenly like looking at and the Sova, of course, right? And you're looking at a very powerful executes that are very basic but very powerful. So this is something that Team Liquid doesn't have at all. Like there's nothing in Team Liquid's utility. There's Reyna. Low-key griefing then. Like really. But yeah. Alright, let's see what they do.
No, it really isn't much better. If that's your argument in any scenario, at least it's not a scream.
Hello, Panda.
It's not a good argument.
Loving the title of the stream, even though I don't actually celebrate, is for FJ, right? Yeah, for sure. No, I'll be playing today, Garrett. I don't want to do the entire day of the VOD reviews, but actually, let me put it in the title. 1 second, my friends. Gambit versus Liquid VOD review. Alright, let's see.
Still going to be very difficult, but also bringing in a KO as well.
Alright, so
see like the no jet comp. The thing I will say is it's Scream on Arena, so if you're worried about like the entry potential, it's definitely not going to be there. And also bringing in a
so they start. Let's look at Gambit. What they do in pistol rounds. What they have here is we have the standard B wall from Viper and the standard retake B wall from the other Viper. Oh wow, this is Twitch. Wait, no, I need to change to YouTube. It pisses me off. It pisses me off. Wait. Gambit versus Team Liquid.
It's basically to call it a pistol.
Burp, 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 burp. Wait. Watching VODs on Twitch is just terrible for VOD reviews because whenever you pause, the screen becomes like dark, you know?
Again, this is more just my of course,
oh, it's a technical pause. Oh my god.
Build straight after champions.
At least it's not
Okay. Now we know what's going on.
a scream, you know? That's not a good argument. It's still going to be very difficult, but yeah, I'm interested to see like the no jet comp. The thing I will say is it's Scream on Arena, so if you're worried about like the entry potential, it's definitely not going to be there. And also bringing in a KO.
And there's one trap. What is Chamber doing? So, okay, no one is guarding A. So Gambit is completely losing map control on A. Someone will, depending on how the round revolves, typically one player, most likely the Viper, will just control A entrance as well if they don't get anything going on B, because they're most likely gonna be rotation towards A. But if they get something going on B, like a first kill or something, then this is even easier because the Viper will just either rotate to ship or just hold like from a mid towards B main and A main, while KO just goes in on site. But yeah, there's the trap here on entrance of B main. The TP from Chamber indicates that he wants to play aggressively through tube and just TP back to it, but he didn't set up the second TP yet. That means he will have to like make noise before peeking, which is losing the surprise factor. But let's see. Let's see, and I'm gonna move. Wait, we don't need this right now. And I'm gonna move my camera like this. Okay.
As well, it's a lot of added info that's going to be available to Gambit.
No one got that. Wait, what? Did that dagger miss?
And also bringing in a KO as well. It's a lot of added info.
Yeah. This dagger is not the best. It lands on the left side of long. On the top of the container here. So it's not easy to destroy, but the range of it is very questionable. Like it only checks here, unless, of course, this is the goal of it, right? Because what it does, it checks the most common first angles. So I guess that's the point. And that's not bad. But I am not certain if it doesn't end like this. So I'm not certain if it checks the box on this spot. I'm not certain about that. But I think it does. It should. Okay.
That's going to be available to Gambit and a lot of these early round scenarios, especially as it's
Ooh,
another
what is this
utility
FPS?
that cycles just like the dart.
That's the second trap. So it's okay. So that's essentially what he wanted to achieve. He gets back, he TPs back, right? He didn't achieve, so he didn't want to. He didn't TP, so he wanted. What is his FPS, man? He didn't want to go back to not make noise. KO went to controlling A. B didn't even move a little bit. That chamber trap is still there. Wow. Was that looking like that on the broadcast? Had to be. First round was having FPS issues? Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
To make that push on in the slow defaults that have destroyed the majority of teams on the world scene. So this is going to be a task for Liquid for sure.
One of my, you know what? It's very funny, but the fact that when I was playing Viper, once they changed the DK on the orb, I remember playing ranked. Like no one was playing Viper at all, right? And I started playing Viper a little bit before the buff, but once they buffed the Viper orb, I suddenly changed the way I played Viper orb and put it on the side on default and just used it as a means to stop planting. And I'm very actually proud of that because I started doing that before the pros actually did it in any of the matches, and then I saw people doing that and copying me and like normal ranked matches and so on. So I'm very actually proud of that. And not about like inventing anything, but to be able to discover something that is, so logical and strong that pro players also came up with the same ideas, right? Yo, Yashified, very much for the 8 months. Camila sends her regards this Valentine's Day. Thank you, Yashified. Thank you much for the 8 months. One more and we're gonna have a Twitch, baby.
Off to a flying start.
Hello, Seafold. Hello, Dashko.
Themselves an afterplant, and now the rotation has to come in here from Liquid. And honestly,
this is like I don't know, man.
Already there. We haven't seen the changes on
very standard round though. Nothing interesting so far.
Yeah, this is gonna
they have the wall still, right? Yeah, Link still has the wall. Nats kept on site, which is important. This is actually important because keeping Nats on site allows him to play against the other Sage.
As they attempt to walk on in and look at these side angles available.
Now he died.
I mean, this
There's the wall.
Like a clean round. Nats was still stuck on the site. Now the wall goes down, but it's going to be broken.
What the hell? Oh my. I mean, when you think about it, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Like, he's gonna be very close to him and the other player will just try to stick it, right? Like, kind of made sense. Alright, let's see how long till it actually goes back into the match. Some issues, right? Yeah. Technical pause. Technical pause. Technical pause. Okay, here we go. So, Gambit won the first round, and they go into the next one with Defo on Phantom, 1 Bulldog, 2 Bulldogs. Okay. So, no shock darts for Redgar, which is fine. They don't really need that on round 2. While Scream goes for the Marshal with nothing else. 2 Sheriffs, and... Why is Solkas not buying... a drone?
It still works sometimes, please. But here we go.
So that's something that I don't understand. And why is Link not buying a wall? That is something I really don't understand. So this is gonna be nitpicky, right? But let's pay attention. If both Solkas and Link don't buy a wall and a drone for the next round, then I'm okay with it. Then I understand why, because of the economical hurdle that they chose Sheriff over the utility. But if they will buy the wall and the drone next round, even if they don't get any kills, That means that they should have bought it this round and just have it in case, you know, something happens. Because what you do is you buy that utility on round 2 just to make sure that if suddenly the round goes your way, you still have some utility to increase the odds of winning the round.
Right back in. And it is going to be that stack up. And a lot of it.
Alright, so arrow on the side checks headshot level, checks the corner. Very nice arrow because it checks here, and of course the server, but it doesn't check rafters, right? That's about it. But it also checks lamps. Very nice arrow. Very nice arrow. What else do we have? This smoke, if I'm not mistaken, landed on... Jesus, this quality of this stream is absolutely abysmal, man. I can't see shit on the minimap. Man, Twitch has to really fucking change something, man. So the smoke landed on rafters. This is why it landed on rafters, because the arrow discovered the first angles and then denied the other angle with the rafters smoke. And wall on screens. Okay.
That hasn't exactly worked out, though. The rifle that was invested into by Defo, only good for the one before he goes down. A little bit of damage for the pistols. If they can find another kill here, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Plant spot for Nats.
I was like, oh, he's not going to have space for plant, but he did.
Even more so when you've only got those pistols to work with.
I feel like that's a wall that at some point we're going to see them mess it up and not be able to plant, and I'm going to heal quite a lot. Nice shot from Soulcast.
I would give you that, right? I would, but it's Nats.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought...
Nats is like, this is the second round where he stands on exactly on spike.
Okay, right.
Someone in our matchmaking games.
Bulldogs and the Phantom coming into this round, so not that...
Yeah, see, look at this. Look at this. Both Soulcast and Link are buying the drone and the wall when they should have bought it last round. This is very nitpicky, but I do think that it's actually a mistake.
Much lost if they can drop over some pistols. It is going to lead to some weaknesses here, though, and then something for Team Liquid.
Like, there's no way you're not buying a wall and a drone for a full buy round. So why not buy it on round 2 just in case, right?
This is something we used to talk about with Scream when he played Sage. It was just like you had a res every 2 rounds just because of how many kills he was actually getting. So he's actually only a couple away. Probably not going to be the most impactful here, but as you said, having those rifles could be the difference.
And this is what, look, and this is what Liquid won't have. Liquid doesn't have to fear someone dashing in the first second of the round on top of tube. Like, that's completely out of equation when you play against a team that has no jet. And suddenly, on Boiler, you're playing so much safer, right? You can be peeking a lot more, you can be definitely certain about some positioning. Like, it's such a huge change, man. By not having jet, right? You change the way your opponents are playing, not the way that your team is playing, because that happens either way. But the way your opponents will play is completely different because they don't have to worry about jet.
For both teams, and actually they're going straight under the tube. An early trade is decent, but it's definitely worked out better in this case for Liquid.
Yeah, Gambit known for their slow plays, but they want to use the faster pace to take advantage of these weaker weapons. Redgar even going for the flank. He'll be caught.
Almost good timing.
With low HP, Defo didn't stand a chance. That is 2-1. Team Liquid answering back convincingly. And I like what Gambit did on that mid push. They go out and they have players ready to counter all of that utility. I mean, for the first 5 to 10 seconds of that round,
Nats is 7 out of 8. Shadows is 4 out of 7.
Dominated.
And
very similar round, the opening to pistol round, but Chaos starts on the left side of spawn instead of right side of spawn, so he's closer to the teammates. So he has a lineup
in the last round
for a different position than on pistol round. There's a chamber trap in kitchen, and TP goes back to A for a fast rotation in case nothing happens on B.
Still a full buy and a blade storm available for Defos. So going into this round, it definitely is an easy pick.
Wait. Did he throw the grenade, the fragment? I think so.
Jumpy already gone.
So, okay. Dagger on top of yellow, very nice. An arrow
a little bit more of an aggressive
on the first angle of long while the fragment checked this position here. Here. This is the position that was being checked.
Great start, but an instant trade up with shock dart, so not bad.
Not bad at all. But the res is going to come through being
Wait,
Not bad.
but-
So stance in this round. That is a great.
Solkas killed Redgar with a shock dart on default position, but there was that a double shock dart? I think so.
Yumpy already gone. A little bit.
Yeah, I was just a double shock dart from Boiler.
More of an aggressive
Okay.
stance in this round. That is a great start, but an instant trade up with shock dart, so not bad.
Not bad at all.
Still
But the
a
res is gonna
huge.
come through
Oh,
being
right.
online in round 4. As you
Huge,
said, so-
huge advantage. Even without that trade here, huge advantage towards Gambit because it's 4-on-4 again. Like, you know, map stays the same. Suddenly you have one less defender, specifically Chamber, so you don't have control of the traps.
Back into the 5v4, and Team Liquid have got a lot of play.
Good pacing. Good pacing. Look, pay attention. Very important small stuff when you play Viper. You initiate the attack, right? You initiate the attack with the Viper utility. So you put up the wall up, so the wall here on the container, right? On site, and the smoke on mid. So you activate all of this utility and you go with the drone. That defensive Viper puts up the defensive orb and the defensive wall. What does the attacker do? He puts down immediately his own wall, right? To interval. Like, this is so important. See? He puts down the wall here. If he puts down the wall, the fuel goes... He doesn't lose the fuel, he recharges the fuel. So once this Viper is out of fuel, when this goes down and this goes down, that's where the other Viper now has fuel and goes up, and you play aggressively. It's so important. And I see so many Vipers not doing that. In pro level even. 90 Whitey, very much for the 10 months. Welcome back, 90 Whitey. How was your weekend, my friend? Welcome back.
Have got a lot of players towards this B side, but it's very difficult to hold off against this kind of push from Gambit. They're going to get a lot of control. They can already be back yellow. And for Team Liquid, every face that they take is a huge risk here. That blind even forces Navera off the angle, and at this point, I don't even think they can stop that plant.
Yeah, this is always the benefit. They have put down some utility, and that's
Nats took so much damage. It's kind of awkward to see Nats in this position to like plant every round. He's such a clutch player for Gambit, and now he's kind of like just made this plant boy.
That was a good attempt
Where did that defragment go? I think on default, but that destroyed the Sage wall,
by Liquid to use.
right?
Being allowed any available, you've got to try.
No,
and
it was already
head
destroyed,
on
never
to
mind.
Liquid and, well, they're just not being allowed any space whatsoever.
Yeah, it landed on
That was
default.
a good attempt by Liquid to use their Viper utility to stop that plant, even just cause the damage, but nothing found. Now it's sort of suicide to just run in here. They're going to try the wall play. We saw this in the first round, unsuccessful.
Oof, Chronicle, very awkward angle for a lurker.
Sort of
Pay
suicide to just
attention.
run in here.
This is something that you want to
Try the wall
avoid when
play. We saw
picking
this in the
through an angle. You don't want to move in a forward angle like this. You really don't want to. What you want to achieve is ideally when you lurk through a smoke here, you want to sidestep from the right side to be ready and not just running in straight line, because that makes you an easier target. And he was just running in blind, and just look, the Reyna just waits for him. That's so obvious, and now I will start doing it when I play Viper on Icebox. Ah, learning, I see. How do you resolve the Liquid no jet problem? We've seen Scream can play anything at pro level other than Arena. Yeah, that's literally what I said. It's a huge problem for Liquid. They're fucked. And that's the problem that they had from the beginning of the game.
first round unsuccessfully. Oh, but this time finding a lot more for their trouble. Goes down to just the one player, Shados. He's going to break the wall and take the kill. Running the clock all the way down and guaranteeing that round for Gambit even after his demise. A third round will be found for this attacking side.
Give me a second, I need to get back. Alright. In my opinion, this works on every single map, waiting for a lack of auto Viper fuel. Yes, yes, exactly. That is something that you should be using on every single map.
Definitely.
And it also works not only against other Vipers, but you just use it against any other smokes, you know? It's like, if you're getting smoked off and you're not doing an actual execute, put down your wall and shit, so you recharge your fuel, you know? Honest, the Icebox B site is orientating to attack, especially with what Viper Sage. How do you think it fix that? I mean, if you believe
probably about an hour ago
the rumors, the entire Icebox is gonna get reworked, and all the changes we have seen that got leaked were actually very good. So we'll see.
As a counter in those after plants. There's also something, and this is almost a direct call out, but I want to see if someone can clip this for me. When that shock dart kill came in, did average Jonas say, "That's my shock dart"? Because if he did, then Jonas, you're becoming a little bit too predictable.
You know, I do think when it comes to the whole
default attack this time. Look at the Gambits. This is the first time they're actually using a default in round 5.
Chamber has countering that out when it comes to the next couple weeks is going to become so much more common. Cypher was.
And Scream has to back off. Like, it's so actually awkward when you play against the KO. KO suppresses you, you can't stand there. There's just no way. If you are a character, of course, like a Reyna or a Jet, because you relied on getting the first kill and dismissing or dashing away. If you can't do that, you're fucked, because if you go 1-for-1 on defense, your entire team is losing value, right?
To replace the Sage or to have her free roaming in very early days. But the problem was always that...
Hello, Symbian.
Oh, Yumpy. That is a nasty shot, and it's
they were a little bit ahead, right?
One tap and he's out of there now.
Nice shot, and now he has 2 defaults as well activated now. That is such a huge value on that kill. Look, he didn't have that before, right? Like, he's 6 out of 7. How is he able to go into 2 players and just pick one away? Oh, Nats is not clearing the same angle. He's very deep. That is only Chronicle being outside here. Very nice shot. Very nice shot.
One tap and he's out of there now, rocking around with an operator to play with. Although moving towards the wrong side of the map, it is that Gambit are at least gravitating towards for now.
And now that's very awkward because the opponents were playing on a lower buy, right? They had only 1 rifle that was saved from the previous run, but now they have the free operator, bro.
Potential Empress if he wants it as well, and pretty much all of his utility online. So although it's open in one sense, the other sense is the screen factor. But they have already tagged.
Ah, no, Chamber has no TP ready. Now KO is initiating with the ultimate, and it's look, it's so important that, oh my god, so important that the utility is being used to clear those angles. But okay. Soulcast just gets 1. The Soulcast kill is much more important than the Scream kill, because the Soulcast kill is harder to achieve. That's first, and the second one, it killed Sage, which is typically the planter.
Scream's still here, and now in a 4 versus 2 situation, this looks rough for Gambit.
Are they winning this?
Not the easiest.
There's no way, right?
It's gonna be tough for Redguard. There's so many players up close, and it just turns into
oh wow, and he doesn't even check that. Oh, I mean, there was too much noise. Yeah, there's no way, right? Yeah. Oof. It all started with the opening kill from Yumpy, and that's. I wonder if you could think that maybe Nats should not be standing in that one corner, right? So he doesn't help the mid guy. It only helps the peek from. It only helps the peek from Tube, and losing Viper, which is way more hurts way more than losing Sage. So maybe standing in different position, right? Oof.
Yet again, they love this mid to B play when they're on the lower rifles or weapons this time. The same
good positioning.
Team Liquid running all over,
and
Yumpy's a good amount of the way towards that.
Gambit just goes 1 by 1, isolated into crossfires. But you know, it's also a very low buy. So Gambit switch Reyna with KO on Icebox. I mean, you could argue that the KO slot in Gambit should either be Killjoy, KO, or Chamber. Those are the 3 best in slots that you have to choose there right now in the meta game, and all are viable. They just depend on what you want to achieve. And KO, I'm a big fan of KO in general. Sky was way better when the ultimate was for 6 and the old flashes were just absolutely broken. She was essentially one of the best duelists. But after the nerf, KO just picked up so much steam, you know? And he was always very good, but there was just not much space for him when the other characters were just so much better, right? But now he found his place finally after the Sky nerf, and he's insanely impactful now.
So there's downsides to it in that sense, but in this round we saw exactly the
4 players mid, Sova A. So what is the plan here? Are they faking that A? Because if they're not faking, then Sova should not be on A. But they go fast mid, and Sova is holding... Ah, okay, so he checks the standard... So it's kind of like a fake, kind of not. You know that if Jet is on mid, you don't know about other players though. But once there's a Sage Wall on mid that gives a lot of on the info, but they don't use it. So this is where that drone is actually important. Oh, look at that! Very nicely played. Very nicely played because use so much utility on A by using the arrow and the drone that it signals that's probably someone already taking A side. But look at Liquid, they actually don't bite that. They are actually aware that someone can go through mid. That is very good awareness from Liquid.
I think single-handedly essentially winning them that round.
And they wait, very nice pacing from Gambit. They wait for that drone to clear the entire site, and now they will wait. Nats doesn't peek before the flash will happen. But he has such an inferior weapon, man.
Mid peek and then closing out that trade on the
Wait, what? Did he flash? No.
timing is so good.
What? What? What made him not flash? Look, he's ready with a flash here. He has it in his hand. And they hear Soulcast going. That's what made him. That's what they made. That's what it made him not flash, because he hears the player rotating of screens. But he doesn't know that there's a second player there. So I think it's a good decision making. But the problem is it's not safe, right?
That trade on the that timing is so good. But Shados is still caught.
All right. If Link's
That was a
shooting
very
actually,
good
Link
bait.
just leaves spots open
But
all
yeah.
the time. There was a chance that the double kill went back in the other direction, as I believe the drone was actually being utilized. Never mind though.
But there's still some... What?
As I believe the drone was
The spike is on mid,
being utilized.
while Solkas just gets into a fight on A and just dies. What the hell? That is really not good. That is really not good for Liquid. That is lack of discipline for sure.
Yo, Domish Matt for the 3 months. Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you, Matt, for the continuous support.
Yeah, this is really not good. Not a good idea.
Defo's still lurking around mid, trying to cut off the rotations.
So Defo in this case, like he is never retrieving the spike. He's waiting for the players from A to actually help him retrieve the spike. But he's never the first player that goes in. He can smoke off mid, try to get some space, but he's never going in first. Oh wait. That ult doesn't cover the spike itself, but that's good anyway because he just covers mid.
This is going to have to be a push from the A side, and there's only 35 seconds left. I mean, Gambit have to essentially run at them, and with no information to play with, like they have no idea where any of these players are. There's even a res online for Link, but he's not going to get to use it.
Oh wow.
Losing it now, we come down to just Nivera inside his ultimate, and yeah,
15 seconds.
but hold on, he's going to reposition, getting right ahead of the ult.
That is just thrown. That is just absolutely thrown by Liquid. So like just pushing alone, taking unnecessary fights, not discipline.
Both put there. It's a peculiar one, but yeah, I think that was the one sort of thing that made that Viper split not as valuable is just the fact that they're outside stick with an operator, but still their economy
4 players going towards A.
is on the brink.
Shock dart on like this is, I don't get it. Why are people going into this area? Why? You can literally achieve the same if you go here and drop down. and you're not exposed to any kind of utility. Like, this is... I don't understand. There's no reason to go here. Even if you want to do this dagger here, right? Like this. You still can do the same dagger from here. Literally the same. So, I don't get it, man. This is like so inefficient. Pisses me off, man. Sound maybe? They already do noise. There are already 2 players going down here. And why is KO going through here? Makes no sense. He exposed himself to like unnecessary danger, you know?
A little bit more solo.
We've already seen what this man can do in the past on
different Viper wall from Nats. This time cuts off the stairs, but gives a little bit more space towards screens. So the defenders can actually move into backside without being spotted. I'm not a fan of this wall, but I understand why people are using it. From time to time, it's good. You just have to be aware that the players can rotate towards backside.
He's not going to have opportunities this time, though. Yet again, we're seeing that be...
Oof. And that is going to be a problem, because now Solkas is going to ult the player that was meant to plant the spike.
He completely ignored, but the rotations are coming in quickly.
And Shadows just kills Reyna, because Scream just peeked out of rafters like this. What the hell?
And all the ultimates committed here by Gambit. Lots.
Wait, did it? No. Reyna was on Maze. Link just... Why would... Okay, I expected the Reyna to be on rafters, because that's such a position. Just you're not backing off. You're dead.
And all the ultimates committed.
Dude, Team Liquid is just like straight up taking those really bad angles, man.
No targets hit.
What the hell?
3v5, they've given up beat control. They still have a lot of control because of the
Hello, Momo.
down. I mean, Chamber is holding down half of the map essentially.
That is so weird, man.
There's nothing Liquid can really do to be proactive without taking massive risks. I think they just have
Hello,
to
Blur.
make some mistakes as they push.
Yeah, they've used the 0 point to know that there, at least for the moment, wasn't anybody on site. Again, we're going to see this same wall, but Gumpy had an opportunity, doesn't quite connect, and they're just being ripped apart again. But not a bad read.
Yeah, dude. Good luck, Liquid.
GMB thing. Having essentially a 4-player hold on that A side, and then they lose it to a flawless round from Gambit. It's not ideal. And as well as that, Tom, I would add, just take a look at the ultimates. I mean, Gambit are about to have a lot online.
Yeah, it's a weird spot, and that's the thing as well. Like this A site,
This round, if I'm Gambit here, there are 2 possible calls that I would do as an IGL. But obviously, you know, I might have different ideas, right? But whenever I see KO has 6 out of 7, I'm either going option A, easier one, towards B, take the orb, ult B side, go in. That's it. Okay, alright? You just form and push. And Viper is holding mid in A, right? The other option is to go for the same option on A, but I think that ulting B side is better because it's easier for you to take in this case than A. On A, there still will be players playing on some angles that you might not expect, or someone will just be very risky and just peek through like Team Liquid did before, and then he can get lucky. And you're also exposed so much when you take the orb, right? So I don't like that. And B is just easier to get that orb, specifically because you can use the arrow and the dagger to clear the first angles. But we'll see.
The toughest, if not the toughest site in the game to defend. There's been so many different variations attempted to try and hold onto the site. In fact, one of them from Liquid was to have raise nades that dropped onto the spike just to try and stop them from planting. We've seen shot darts. We've seen...
We're gonna see so much KO in the future because he's just such a counter to Chamber and to some degree Jet and Raze, man.
With snake bites to just try and deny plants. There's nothing that I think has been consistently successful. That's why most teams, well, they do what Yumpy's doing, which
okay.
is...
This round, they're not going into this angle, which is very important. Everyone goes up top and drops down. Very, very important. So Chamber's actually useless on that one angle.
The attempt is going to be made, but the opening shot not landed. Yumpy's forced back, and that knife is actually...
That is in on rafters. So Yumpy now has a terrible position and he is out of his TP. So if he peeks through that, doesn't get a kill, or he even gets traded, that's terrible for defense. Let's see.
A lot of these players, including Yumpy.
Why? Why would you do that? Even if you get the kill here, but if you get traded, you would need to go 1 for 0, right? And go back when you're fully exposed, and you have to go back into a Viper's orb when you're already, like, look at his HP. Just look at his HP. He's at 90, 80. He's holding an angle, right? And when right here, even when he gets a kill, he needs to go back into the orb and gets even more DK. So even 2 bullets, or maybe 1, but 2 bullets from a Vandal or a Phantom kills him when he's fully exposed in that orb.
Who then cannot escape as Nats quickly decapitates him. The side is not Gambit's yet, though. Still a lot of players here to fight, and Solkas has managed to pick one up through the wall. The side still with 4 players on the back. Look at this, the entire defense is just clumped together, waiting for someone to peek through, and Defo almost made a fateful mistake. They're still committing, they're still moving forward. Gambit are not deterred.
Nivera just peeks alone. Bro, what?
Heard by hearing numbers, they just see free kills, free ult orbs perhaps. Alenka's still putting up a fight, taking at least the 1 down. The res will be attempted, but that's not great. The orb already gonna tick away. Bunch of screams health, and will be eliminated in the end, putting it down to the 1v2. Link still holding on, a wall in his possession, and the plan still has to be secure.
Good position by Link, but he gets checked. But Liquid has some really questionable, like, disciplined decision making.
Just not go A.
Sometimes you should do a play, it's not ranked. What do you mean? They exactly play like it's ranked. Maybe he planted TP after a kill so he couldn't be traded. He used his TP already to get out of the initial attack.
You just go, well, they literally cannot stop our A take. I don't even know what they
if they 5-stack A? Oh, we'll still win. Like...
Yo, Rickshaw! Welcome back. 16 months! Welcome back, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome back, welcome back. So you know what's funny is that I'm not sure I like this. I'm really not sure I like this because KO now has a ready ultimate and... Oh shit, wait. Not this. KO has now a ready ultimate, but they're playing against a lower buy with Yumpy having the ultimate. So if you really want to use the KO ultimate this round is to only essentially affect Yumpy, but it's so much more impactful on a full buy round. Let's see if they actually use it. He couldn't TP, he was suppressed. It doesn't matter if he was suppressed. He didn't have it. Okay?
And yet you see Team Liquid go back towards the defaults here. 1-3-1. They're holding down primarily in mid.
But KO again peeks from bottom. I don't like this at all. Was the...
Go back towards
Wait, let me check.
1-3-1. They're holding down primarily in mid. Looking to...
Dude. This is so unnecessary. Look. Nothing checked this angle where Yumpy was playing the round before. Nothing. Nothing checked that. And KO is peeking through here. This could have been a death sentence. If he would have done this last round, he would have been dead.
Crunch in on any sort of pushes, but Gambit... Oh, okay. There.
Now, they just... I don't know. What?
Looking to crunch in on any sort of pushes, but Gambit...
No one is there to trade. I mean, they have Sage Res. Maybe that's why he just wanted to peek that. There's the KO ultimate, so they actually used it. But now it's really awkward because it's 4v5.
Yeah, the issue is
that is not clean. That is not clean at all.
It's only gonna last for a moment, and yeah, there you go. Defo's back.
Like the plan was to push in with the KO ultimate, but because Defo dueled before that happened, they had to lose. Look at how much utility and time they lost. They had to go back, wrap around, go on belt, use the wall, res, and the KO ultimate now essentially didn't do anything. That is really inefficient. But somehow now Solkas takes a 1v1 fight.
And Solkas gets spammed back by Redgar. That is unbelievable. That was through it. Spammed back by Redgar.
Was he taking it or was he spanned through?
But the wall.
Wait. Nats kills him on rafters. Through a wall?
There you go. Defo spam.
Is he tagged by the arrow?
Now they're gonna be spamming, but the wall.
Okay, I don't think he was visible. He wasn't even taking that fight. Sokas just gets spanned through the wall. But I think that Redgar heard maybe a bullet from Solka's Vandal?
Wall is blocking it.
I'm not
and
certain.
Solkas gets spammed back by Redgar. That is unbelievable. That was through. I mean, he was in spawn essentially. Oh wow, Gambit with the advantage to play with here. Team Liquid still have that rifle though. It's in the hands of Nevera now. And the team fully.
This would have been such a clean attack if only KO, sorry, if only Defo didn't duel. Or would win the duel, right? Because him dying just cost so much time and essentially made Shadows ultimate useless. They're waiting for Shadows to get back his dagger, but he still he already has it. They want to attack now on A side again. After the Viper refuels, they will use the dagger from KO. Most likely, just gonna put it here on this wall, like this, so they can negate to the force. This would be the primary reason, but also like negate any kind of dismisses and shit. So we'll see. There's a huge advantage towards the attackers right now. Insanely huge.
It's their signature style, and they're doing it again. 40 seconds, and they still haven't moved, and yeah, they faked Liquid out.
Oh, it must be so annoying to play against. Like, there's no.
Yeah, there's the dagger, but it's actually I don't like that. So I really don't like that. If you dagger up close here, then you don't check rafters, and I understand why he's not checking rafters because the orb is limiting the vision on the rafters, but at the same time they play against a chamber that I do believe that there was so much play pattern being seen from Yampy, and he's playing with that TP again, right? I feel like checking backside was much more important than checking this corner, because this corner can be checked by either double picking, right, or by using the arrow. And they actually use the arrow to check that. So a slight miscommunication from Gambit here. See, Yampy goes through the same position, back and back again. He had his TP, right? No, he did not. He recalled it. Unlucky. But he's very predictable.
Instant trades from Gambit. They're looking so good in responsive plays, making sure that no advantage can ever be found for Team Liquid. And now, once again, they are just being slaughtered as they try and push back into this site. Defo brought back from the grave, and he takes.
To add it's into the
okay. Foreman push towards B, standard attacking wall, flash for Defo here. So the flash is just straight up on in front of him. See? It landed behind this box. A little bit too low, I would say. But it's still fine. It does something. Ay, my caramba. What did I do? The fuck? Control Shift W. What? It just turns your screen white? What?
Not quite enough on that.
What is the name of the program when you can draw on your screen? Epic Pen. We're gonna review the whole TL versus Liquid Gambit series. We'll see. Maybe. You should start a service where people send you the recorded game and you analyze it for them. Hello, Raymond. You create whiteboards for schools? Okay. Ctrl-Shift-W close the browser for me. Oh.
From Gambit is a big change, and as you can see, Liquid are not ready for it. They've only got the one player here, and that's a retake wall Navarro's put down.
Yeah, he was left as the solo player. Actually gets tagged up by the
Oh, that's... I can relate to getting tagged by the drone here.
Rotation just yet. You can see that the plan basically would just be to try and get...
Again, something I mentioned before, right? Pay attention. The Viper util is down when the other Viper util is up.
Get that wall in, Nats, get the plant, and then just fall back to yellow once again, and they've left the lurker on the other side.
Look, I actually offered that the tier 3 subs can send a VOD for me to review on stream, and no one did that, and even once, so...
They know there's not...
I don't think people want to spend cash for that stuff like this, you know?
Well, Team Liquid have got full control over middle. They're watching for a flank play through A. The most important thing is this utility...
Defo just gets a kill on Yampi. How the hell that happened?
For middle, they're watching for a flank play through A. The most important...
He just spams through towards nest on top.
Thing
Okay.
is this utility setup on the site. Again, we're going to see it used to try and deny a plant, but the snake bite doesn't come in even remotely on time. It might have bounced off the wall, I'm not sure, but the TLDR is plant is secured, and Gambit now have an advantage.
They have... My god, look at the amount of utility. They got the site for free. Chronicle has still 2 snake bites. They have defragment, dagger, 2 shock darts, because Liquid didn't do anything. Holy shit. That is like almost unlosable. That is like almost unlosable just by the amount of utility that the attackers still have. It's insane. What does Liquid have? Yo, they have 2 Leers. Oof.
To get out with this one.
Yeah, and then a lot of them are going to get all of their utility removed from them. They'll know if there's players in the back corner, and Chronicle is just... He's causing issues. That's what he's really doing. He just needs to be in...
Yeah, he doesn't need to peek. Look, he has a lineup from container. Look, he has a lineup from container. Remind me to do that for myself. Remind me to do that for myself. That I have to make a one from the... Because I started playing way more on mid in ranked. So I have to do a lineup for myself there.
And Liquid know that. They're just going to try and save their weapons for the next round. These after plants from Gambit have been nigh on flawless. And that's the thing with this...
Full... Look at that. Full save. Because Liquid is like, yeah, they didn't use any util. They got the site for free, so we're fucked.
Maybe I'm wrong on this, but it looked like Shados cancelled that retake attempt entirely with the knife. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't put their Viper util up. They couldn't put a wall up. And almost immediately after that knife went down, the team sort of stopped for a second, sort of looked around, and went, okay, let's get out of here. You know, there's no opportunity to get back in. They would have to take all the fights in the open. Their opponents still had utility. They still had like a fragment and everything to play.
Hey, Matsi, how you doing?
That round was unwinnable. And so Team Liquid, they saved these weapons. This is the round that they look to make value from them, and it's Scream getting aggressive on the Reyna, but they're spotting it, even though Liquid haven't been going for this.
Do I have to comment?
Still being conscious, and they've got an op watching for Link re-aggressing. I mean, Team Liquid, everything that they try, it seems like Gambit are on their team speak.
Yeah, and again, we're going to get into these after plants once again.
You don't have to be on the TeamSpeak. The thing is, I'm not saying that Mitch made a bad comment or something. It's just that it's so predictable. It's ranked like. It's something that you see on ranked. The way that Liquid plays. It's so basic. There's nothing surprising. There's nothing that you would not anticipate when you play against a team like this. I mean, it's Scream, he gets 1 kill if he's not tagged, but he will always get tagged because Gambit will not push those angles before the drone checks everything.
Might kill off Nats, but I don't think it was timed quite well enough. So
Let's go.
Teammates alongside him, flanks also being watched. This duel is everything. If Chronicle wins it, the round is already over, and he hasn't missed a he hasn't missed a shot this entire game, I don't think.
Now, we talked about the original iteration of the 9-3 curse. I heard Ryan bringing it up earlier on the desk. Looks like we might have a second opportunity. We'll run it back, so to speak.
Why did Link didn't destroy his drone for him? He wasn't ready. Look at the position of Link.
had
Look at Link
still had, like, a
on the
fragment and
mini-map.
everything to play with. That round was
Ay,
unwinnable.
caramba.
And so Team Liquid, they
He is right now on screen, but he's getting flashed. So he goes back on screens because of the flash. And Reyna still pushes.
to make value from them, and it's
So now he's not ready to help anything because of the flash.
aggressive on the Reyna, but they're spotting it.
That's it. All right. So we have Gambit with the retake wall on A.
They do. They really
Viper plays on B.
not just about the
5-man push from Liquid towards A side.
rounds being won, but the
What did Reyna has one Lear? No shock darts. Wait. Yampi plays Ghost. What? He bought 2 traps and a Ghost. But his trap on mid is not really good. That is really not good. That is really not good. Like the trap on mid here behind this, right? Behind the bridge here allows you to go over the bridge and jump down like this without being spotted. Of course, if you know that the trap is there, right? But you can deduce that. It all depends where because if the trap is behind like a piece of the bridge, so it's not visible through here, then you can go up top bridge and just jump down like this. If it's visible, then you can just destroy it from here. And I guess then it serves some purpose, but that's about it, right? And if I'm not mistaken, you could actually sneak here if you have a smoke. I mean, if you have a smoke, you can sneak anyway. That doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know, man.
they do. They really
I don't understand why do you play, like, the reason why you play Chamber Reyna on pistol round is because you have so much firepower. That's absolutely unreal. Like, you go Reyna, Ghost, Yampi, 4 bullets and shields, and you just attack A, and you have so much firepower. When those 2 players peek, you're looking at a force buy against a pistol round, you know?
really and truly do. It's not just about the rounds being won, but the fact that Team Liquid have stacked up sites and tried so many different things and just met a brick wall of resistance every time. It was impressive, but as we said, things are not over yet for Team Liquid. There is a lot of pressure
KO dagger? KO dagger? KO dagger?
coming into this pistol round, though, on this attack.
No KO dagger. Because he... Wait, where did Shadows use it?
They do. They really and truly do. It's not just about the rounds being won, but the fact that Team Liquid have stacked up
Oh, he used it
sites and
very early. I'm not sure I understand this.
tried so many different things and just met
I don't like
a
that.
wall of resistance every time. It was impressive, but as we said, things are not
But,
over yet.
you know, I can understand why. Because they didn't have a Sova here. But I would definitely value the KO dagger more than the Sova arrows. I would play the other way around. Sova on A at the beginning of the round and KO going in as the backup to have the dagger ready.
Pressure, coming into this pistol round,
Would have been
though,
so much more
it's
impactful to just break the drone a pistol round, right?
a sight. 3 players from Gambit here already, and mainly it's Defo, and he gets blinded up.
Oh, look at that. They have a jet.
Good Lear that avoids that aggression, really finding
Oof, oof. What? He was tagged. But you can see the value of the Viper wall, right? You can see the value, how much value when you have a jet, the Viper wall gives you.
somehow Defo is still alive in the cover from Shadows. That's from the opening. Oh, another landed. A quick shot from Defo, but quickly returned by Link, who's now left to fall back and try to heal himself up. His teammates falling around him, and again, we end up with the advantage in favor of the defense. Oh, you lunatic! He's just gone up, rushing in towards the spawn.
Uh-oh.
Are they ready for this?
Oh, it actually worked out. Obviously, the knife definitely didn't help, and now they know where Link is on the site trying to
Well,
get the fight at
was
this point.
very valiant effort by Nivera. Could have worked.
Possible, unless I try.
The dagger range is not great in any way to get much info when you put it in the corner like that. Yeah, here on belt, right? Yeah, I agree. This is why I also didn't like it. I feel like I think it was a little bit misused, but
he can just
you know, min-maxing, right?
But yeah, there's not going to be a rotation, so chances are there will at least be an afterplant for Link, and if he can get himself in a spot where he can try and find.
There's so much time for this post play. And Gambit are going to approach this together.
Oh, hey, look at that. 2 pro players going hand in hand? Who would have thought that during a retake 2v1, you want to be next to each other? Wow, new concept.
I heard Link has the info.
So if someone doesn't understand, I'm saying this because people in ranked are fucking morons.
But he's been spotted.
Look how close they are to each other. You see this shit? You go like this every time when you do a 2v1 retake. Every time. Doesn't matter what equipment you have. Doesn't matter how much HP you have. You always go together like this during a retake.
That's caught him. Oh man. I mean, they know exactly where he is. He's hardly playing up close on the wall, is he? No, there he is up above. They're ready for this fight.
Ah!
Now,
Why is he fighting alone? No. Where's Nats?
more difficult for Link.
That was a little bit awkward. They were very close to each other, and they should have been. And this was way too long for Shadows to be alone here.
Look at the HP on Nets.
It's frustrating.
25.
And especially now you have to consider
That was almost thrown by Gambit. Almost.
So there's likely to be another res coming in before this game is out, depending on how quickly it actually goes, because that's not the position now that you want to be in if you're Liquid. You win that pistol, I really don't.
As a ranked player, I've never been offended, so offended by something I 100% agree with. Wow, he actually hit Nats through the wall, but I don't know why Nats wasn't peeking like here. Like that, he should have been wide swinging back into that angle when Shadows was fighting. This was very awkward. This was very awkward.
This is like a few pistols, a flat eco, decent economy to play their bonus.
For Sheriffs, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues here for Team Liquid. No easy road, that is for sure. Chronicle in the jump spot, gonna be falling back from here, retrieving the orb.
Nicer position. If you think, why is this like this? you know what's funny? All right, pay attention, okay? That is so funny, man. Look, you know why the smoke is here in this spot? Guess. I will tell you. Like, I will tell you why the smoke is here. But guess why it's funny. Yes, for Jet updraft, Hackerman. It's for Jet to updraft. But there's no Jet on Liquid. It's so funny, man. Oh, it's so funny, bro. Like, literally, you put this here just to make sure you can reposition fast when the Jet stands in this spot. Because she just went in fast, you know? So it's like a... Chronicle just placed this because the main reason for this smoke is the Jet. The other reason is the arrow from Sova, but the main reason is the Jet. And he is so ingrained with the fact that there's always a Jet on Icebox, right? That he actually forgot that he doesn't have to do that. But it's still a good habit here. It doesn't, like... I mean, it costs him 200 because he will not have this smoke 100% in the second round. But it's a good habit. It's just Liquid has shit comp, so...
Falling back from here, retrieving the orb, pop it down there. And the same thing that we saw coming out from Liquid's defensive side, and it's become very common on Icebox now. Have that orb in position, snake bite on the other side, and at least you're damaging whoever's planning it, if not taking them down entirely.
Yeah, I think they've been a little bit more preemptive.
Doing that, you can do that with Chamber the same way that you do it with Jet, by the way. You cannot do the same here because you're gonna have to be exposed with your TP. It's very risky to TP here because the TP is on the edge and you are exposed. So you have to like triple swing to make sure that the Chamber doesn't die, you know? Or someone has to smoke for him. Like, it's so awkward to do it with Chamber.
Utility though. They've almost just said like, we're not even going to allow you to get anywhere near placing.
What do you think of TL not having a main IGL? That's standard. Many teams don't have a main IGL. They have like a players IGL on different maps. That is very standard procedure because some players are very comfortable on some maps, you know?
You just have to believe it's there, you know? Like, in your mind, if you think the wall is there, then there's no way you can take any...
Raze can go fast as well, but who plays Raze on Icebox? I mean, Raze is 100% better than Reyna on this map. Raze is phenomenal on this map as well when you compare it to Reyna because she can clear so much with the paint trails. You can clear the entire backside or you can clear the entire like headshot level. Your boombot clears angle as well. You can use the mobility for anything, right? And these satchels are MVP at breaking sage walls. What you can do, I was doing that in ranked when I was playing Raze on Icebox. You put the satchel on the pistol round, right? You buy satchels on the pistol round, and when the sage tries to plant behind the wall, you do satchel on wall, you wait the 750 milliseconds for it to be armed, you pop it, the wall is destroyed, you kill the player that plants. He doesn't even react.
I appreciate
There's a reason I'm not a soldier, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
What about Team Liquid's playstyle? They don't seem to have always a plan. Yeah, they play like ranked.
Anyway, we're going to have that rotation. Yeah, that too. 25 seconds for them to try and get anything done. They've gone back to this B site, but the fact is Gambit haven't moved. There are still 3 players ready and waiting on this cross, and they're trying to get a little bit more aggressive because they want to try and find some kills, kill off some players before they actually get this plant down. Yumpy will at least get 1, but Link's been dropped, and that means they haven't managed the plant. Soulcast getting a second kill. They're making this one costly at least, but now the time running out, and they could just...
I mean, this is very bad outcome.
Oh my god.
The casters are ahead of a little bit, but this is actually a very unfortunate round. For Gambit, they lost so much.
All of a sudden, I believe that's winnable.
At the same time, Liquid did buy 4 sheriffs and had Yumpy with bullets as well. But this is the round where I feel like Gambit will still force, right? Shadows buys a rifle, Chronicle has still the Spectre. What is the other cache? Defo can sell the smoke and play no util vandal small armor. Nat is in a very awkward spot. He can play no util vandal shields or wall bulldog armor or spectre.
Really brewing up.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah.
And write this round off.
Yeah, this is really awkward. So they go for a bonus when they lost 4 players. That is fucked. That is absolutely fucked when it comes to the economical build-up that they have. This should have been a round where you have much more advantage when it comes to the weaponry.
There might be a piece or 2 missing. They're actually not going to invest. They're going to play this very, very safe. Scream will end up getting a rifle, but it's at the cost of Link not having one. And
the Stinger machine, Defo missed. Unlucky.
Yeah, I kind of feel if that wasn't a Stinger, he probably gets a kill.
Eh? Actually, should have got this kill with the Stinger, dude. Like he flew 20 bullets like here, just missed.
Yeah,
The Stinger's
I kind of feel if that wasn't a Stinger,
the Stinger's fantastic in this move.
he
just missed.
Kill.
I have to agree with you there.
You don't even need to wait for the arm with Ray Satchel on the wall. Valor Viki says 600 damage at all times to objects.
Tom?
I don't think that's true.
He should have had the Lothar bind, then it would have worked.
Exactly.
I
That's
don't
what I
think
was
that's true, but I might be wrong.
had that one coming. Well, look, at 11-3, Gambit really impressed me with what it says about them, that they've taken this sort of...
I think they
investment.
specifically changed that for the interaction with the Sage Wall.
They're not in a rush to end this game. They want to win. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if they are a little bit late for dinner. That drone has spotted a player up close, and Chronicle almost gets away with a kill. Going to be
Positioners. This is going to be, I think, hold up.
with the lead that's there.
Oh my god, 5 small armors. This is still the outcome. Look, the amount of shields on Gambit here is still the outcome of the second round. That's what they pay for. Like the fact that they lost 4 players on round 2 is now the small shields are now the outcome of losing 4 players on round 2.
Team Liquid's attack, it's where they stand the best chance of really clocking up these rounds and making it work, but they have very little room for error. Now, the upside here with the last round being decently convincing.
I mean, guys, look, I'm friends with Scream, and I really like the guy. He's very nice and so on, and he's very skilled. But when he was playing KO, I think that was the worst KO I've ever seen in my life. And when we have seen him as Jet, it's very inefficient. It's not something that, like, is close even to the other Jets. It's really, really rough for Liquid to have a player stuck in the very early beta stage of the game. You know, like playing Reyna all the time. Nice lineup to get a lot of space in mid, by the way. By Liquid. I like the setup on mid, by the way. I really like this. Because what you do is, look how much space you gain here, and you can leak through. Like, this is very, very awkward for the defenders. Really like this setup.
Very thin silver lining.
It's like, you won't be completely screwed, but you will be very
You're
screwed.
just most likely out of the map, but...
Again, they're going to put the pressure in onto Chronicle. I feel like he's trained that a million times, just picking up the orb and fading away, and they're also going to spot the lurk of Link on the other side of the map. Not normally the player that you'd have wait.
That is very interesting. They know Link, the Sage player, is on A. That is like, if I were to be Gambit right now, the info is, if there's anyone on B, they're not planning on planting there. You know? Like, it's so kind of obvious when you think about it. Because you can't plant on B when you have Sage on A. Most kills at this level are usually headshots, so why is light shields versus heavy big deal? Because there's a huge difference with 140 HP and 150. In example, Phantoms. And also you have so much utility that deals damage. And you have so much utility that just deals DK with Viper. Like, it's a really big deal. When you have 125 and you go into DK, then you become a 3-hit from a Phantom. But if you have 150 and go into DK, then essentially you're still 4-hit or even 5-hit by a Phantom. So there's huge differences.
Because, well, how are you planning on getting onto a B site if you don't have your walls?
Yeah, you don't have ads if you have a sub here, you know?
So they'll have a little bit of time. I think it might even be a little bit hesitant in their rotation into
And also remember that in this game, Sheriff deals 145.
the B site and actually give more space over than you might think. Could it be possible that Link waited there intentionally? If so, that's big brain.
It could
I mean, Tom is right here. Tom is right here. When Link got tagged by the arrow, by the dagger, he can be like, you know what, guys? They think we're not going B, so we are gonna go B.
But this play coming onto the B side,
Wow.
You're having the rotation from Gambit.
Oh, never mind. That's. I'm stupid. But okay, now they see Link. This is like confirmation that they're going here. Scream is already on site. He's peeking into Chronicle.
Look who's up close. Okay, Scream got seen as well. Snakebite's gonna be late.
Oh, he missed it. He missed it. And Redguard just kills Reyna out of positioning. What the fuck?
Well, Snake.
Eh?
Snakebite's gonna be late. Snakebite's actually bounced
Okay, so that was just a duel. That's it.
off the edge of the wall, so never mind.
Jesus. And this, oh my god. And Link dies because of this shit wall that they did. You guys remember? What I said at the beginning of the VOD review? That you need Sage on B still, even though after that box change, because the Sage wall makes it easier for you to make it safer to plant from Snowman. Right? Like that's what I literally said. And that's why Redguard just kills Link, because the wall doesn't do that.
The advantage now sitting comfortably in favor of Gambit. This was looking good for Liquid, but it took a nosedive real quick.
Yeah, they switched up the wall just to try and deny the snake bite, and then they end up getting caught.
No. I don't think that was to deny the snake wall. I think that was just to allow Reyna to get a kill, but he failed at that, you know? Ooh, what a flash, bro! What a flash! Unlucky for Defo. Oh my god, they lost because of that. Oh, that is very unfortunate. The flash goes right here. And the second one is mistimed. And they lose because of that. Some Wiferinos. Oh my god. I mean, that was a 5v3, man. Unlucky flash. I mean, that's not unlucky. I think it's miscommunication. It's mistiming. That's something that it can work on as a team. But it's the catalyzer for Liquid to win that round. Like, holy shit, man. And some Wiferinos, right? Redguard, after getting 2 kills, he whiffs on the third, and it's like, oh.
This is Liquid's opportunity to connect that 6th, help themselves out a little bit, feel that little bit more confident. They've almost lost Scream straight away, but they'll be healed on up surely.
Yeah, they do have to be a bit careful.
Scream has 1 HP. I mean 5. See? Look, literally what we talked about. He doesn't get killed because he has 150 HP. Imagine him having 125 and dying here. Look. He peeks to the guy on orb. He wide swings like a motherfucker. Gets dinked. To 5 HP. Imagine having 125 here. Right? Game Warrior? He literally loses the round for Team Liquid here. And why is he not dismissing here? Is another thing I don't understand. He has 5... Oh, suppressed, never mind.
They've almost lost Scream straight away, but they'll be healed on up surely.
Yeah, they do have to be a bit careful. Defo managed to get the orb for the Blade Storm. Fragment will hold them back a little longer, but he's the danger man. And he's dead, because he peeked into the throne. I love the confidence.
I thought they were gonna come running through right after, but yeah, the reveal instead coming into play. Nice shot by Nats. 3 versus 2. So
Gambit. Whenever Gambit plays on an... That is such a Gambit thing. Whenever Gambit plays an eco, those guys suddenly become just deathmatch machines. It's like, it's eco. Whatever. Foo. Suddenly they don't have any discipline. It's like, it's a different team. You know? It might be actually how they... Like, maybe that's a strategy that they have. Like, it's like, alright guys, confidence round. Alright, let's do this. Wild West. You know?
Gambit to maybe pry some weapons out of the hands of Team Liquid, do some extra damage. But in the end, it'll be 3 alive.
Every single time I watch Gambit and it's an eco round, it's the same story. But to a certain degree, that is very predictable. And you can expect Gambit to do stupid shit when they play eco.
right here, and it's the operator in the hands of
And I don't think that's good, because when you play an eco, sometimes you can do runs like this, but it would be very valuable to switch it up and do stacks, very defensive, passive, because your opponents will expect you to peek. You know? Like, oh, Gambit is on eco, they're gonna wide swing sheriffs us, you know? Just wait. Just wait for the motherfuckers to peek, we kill them when they peek with those sheriffs, you know? But then Gambit is like, haha! We're gonna stack a side instead of peeking into them and dying.
Yeah, it'll be no shields. So,
No shields, yeah.
it's going to be at a risk. This is the thing. This will be aggressive. There's very little that sure because there's just somewhere only defend the arena. So
I swear, Redga and Nats have the most Slavic background possible. If you're Polish, Czech, Russian, or probably also Hungarian a little bit, that's how your rooms are looking like in 90s and early 2000s.
They're going to have to be very wary of that. Of course, Liquid have played Icebox before, so they will be very wary of that because it is one of the only defensive strategies that people have at the moment on this map.
Look at Nivel's cam. That guy has the cam attached on his glasses. What?
That because it is one of the only defensive
I mean
strategies
glasses.
that people have at the moment. So
Romania too?
I don't think that's gonna be
Right,
too much
right.
of a worry for them, but it is defo. And when as said, I wanted to see the level coming out of him in this online stage of the tournament.
Defo has no updraft, no armor. Okay. Shadow's ultimate, Chronicle ultimate. I wonder if they're gonna, like... Dude, they have so much ultimates too. Redgar 7 out of 8. Rez is available here. Oh my. Attackers have Reyna's ultimate. But now seriously, they do have Hunter's Fury. And they do build up cash now with Yumpy.
He's looking pretty decent.
Has been one of my favorite players.
For sure.
So what does Chronicle do? That's very interesting looking at this, because...
Someone that I was very excited.
Ooh! Viper Wall mid! Viper Wall mid. And also to make it certain that they cross from kitchen. Okay, okay. So now we're gonna see the smoke here. But why is in this case Yumpy going mid? He's not gonna be able to utilize his headhunter. Sorry, his 2 de force. What?
Rumors in EMEA back in the day, stage 1, stage 2, you know, it's like, oh, these guys are incredible in the scrims,
And look at that. Shadows is ready for this. He's gonna dagger the shit out of them.
Defo.
And there's no way of destroying it, because if Shadows puts the dagger on top of the tube, there's no way that Liquid can destroy it, and all this wall and smoke is gonna get turned off, and they're gonna be caught out.
And then you get to see him, and well, I'll say in scrims,
That's so predictable, though, right?
he still has not reached his top potential when it comes to officials. Not even.
He just goes in for the ultimate instead, so he doesn't have to use the dagger. They're gonna be fully exposed now.
That is an no shields. He gets away with it. No kill, but Chronicles
Dude.
doing a damn good job of holding down B. Still on this choke point.
Oh my... Dude, Chronicle, man. Why is Chronicle so good, bro?
Around yellow, his utility covering the walkthrough on B, and with that double kill spike drop.
Yo! Nice tour de force when Shadows is there.
But that has actually allowed Solkis to sneak all the way through. And with that knife going out, he knows there's a player right up above him. It's the KO, but it'll be Pete from the side still, getting away with one.
Shadows just shift picks him! What the fuck?
Us will get the jump on him though, and leave Yumpy's operator.
Like, dude, I think Shadows didn't realize that Solkas knows about him because of that dagger.
Hyped up this agent pick in this man's hands, but I think a 1v4 is a little too much to expect from him.
Yeah, especially with the position of the spike. Like, it really couldn't be much worse. You've got two players around the angle. Players have spotted him in mid as well. And he now no longer has enough bullets to actually kill the remaining players on the team. So he'll have to either find a gun or switch up to his pistol. And he's not even going to be given the chance.
Yeah, dude. Gambit just... They just made Team Liquid look like fools, man, in this round. It's actually crazy. Of course, you cannot ignore the fact that Chronicle gets the most important kill on Reyna. Right? And then the second one was very nice. But the important kill was the one on Reyna. But how they made them look like fools is because of Shadows on the kitchen with the ultimate, which literally stops the initiation on mid. Like, Team Liquid is like, oh, we're gonna be doing this wall, we're gonna do this smoke here, then we're gonna go with Reyna, go with the Lear from mid, you know? And then Shadows is like, bam! Fuck you! It's like Liquid doesn't take into account what the opposing team has. I've honestly, on this level of Valorant that you expect to see here, I think this is actually kinda shameful.
Yeah, Gambit back to Gambit ways, 12-6. Chronicle as well, like, again, he was one of, I want to say one of, if not even the best player that we saw at Champions. He was unbelievable. I think only if they had won the event, he was MVP. I don't even think that's in question. So the fact that, again, he's come in swinging.
Hello, Vinsman.
Playing Viper, which he has played before, but not necessarily so much.
Again, the same wall on mid.
I think Gambit,
right?
As said, going into the next map, where I think, at least in the past, he also played Viper.
I'm Polish, Pavgos.
Time to be a little bit scared if you're a Liquid fan.
What the? Liquid just used the wall and smoke on the same position on mid. And the only thing that it achieves is that it negates the player to peek from on the tube. That's literally the only reason why you smoke this when you have the wall. Ugh. Not a fan. What? Viper used everything on mid, which they don't even control. And the only reason to do that is to fake that you go through mid. But they don't use anything to fake that they go through mid. Because if you want to fake that they go through mid, you need to use the orb here and not here. And they do so much noise on A anyway. So this is literally useless. Oh my god, dude, what?
6 attempts, all those ultimates as well for Gambit. I mean, they've got a deep ulti bench to play with, as do Team Liquid, but it's the fact that Gambit only need the one round, right? One recovery.
Lovely Lear.
And they are done and dusted on this. A very aggressive push out of screen. He's up on top trying to play around that wall. Hunter's Fury will be committed. And it's available on the other side. Redgar trying to grab some tags. This is ludicrous.
Okay. Nivera, insanely impactful kill here. Nats wanted to get Nivera out of this position because he knows how OP this Viper ult is. If Nats kills, even 1-for-1, if Nats kills Viper here, it's worth it because he has a chance of doing that. He denies the Viper ult, and if they go into this Viper ult for a retake, they're fucked. There's absolutely nothing they can do. Because the ultimate here is so broken. It gives the one-way on rafters. It covers like oh my god, it's so terrible to go against a pro team with this ult. But Scream just peeks for no reason. Okay.
Goes down to even the numbers.
It looks like a strong possibility of an afterplant. There isn't res available for Link, but getting to Scream, I think it's going to be easier said than done. He was perfect.
There's no way they go for the retake here, right? Defo has an operator right in his back, right? No.
Wall, unless it's actually been sectioned off. If it's below, he might actually be able to get.
Are they saving here? I don't know, man. If Scream would have been alive, I would probably be calling for a save. But Scream is not alive. So maybe they can get lucky to some degree and try, but it's very awkward. Jesus, Defo has balls of steel, bro. Will he die after doing this? Because opponents exactly know his position.
still within the pit alongside Navira. And
Yeah, this is a save, right? Can they even save? No. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know about this call.
So quickly maneuvers himself from taking that fight on the side, jumps up on top of the
I don't know about this call. I understand why they do it because Scream was dead. But the chances of winning that round against an actual team in this Viper's ult is just so low, man.
Using the exact same ultimates, in fact, you know, in for penny, in for pound on that one. And so Team Liquid doing the ult advantage. If anything, you know,
I don't agree with this retake. It's 6-12. I feel like saving there just builds up so much.
Beneficial one for them.
I don't know.
Moving forward purely because they've evened the playing field a little bit.
And they're still in the map.
That too. I mean,
Hey, Gambit on Eco.
kind of what I applied.
It's it's so easy to predict, man. It's Gambit on Eco, guys. Hey, Gambit on Eco here. Just wait in your spawn, okay? They come to you. It's free delivery.
Applied by saying, yeah, they won the round, but
How effective do you think is counter-ulting Viper ult with Viper ult? It's only effective if you initiate with it. Otherwise, I don't think it's good.
Should be a fairly free round for Liquid.
It really depends on this. It's like there's so much context to be needed. In this situation, I don't think it was good because they were already on a back foot.
To catch the aggression of Daffo on that A site. And now we'll see how Gambit are actually going to take some risks. Nats has managed to push into mid though. And with spotting nothing on that side, it might allow them to at least stack up on this B site a little bit.
yeah, that drone certainly giving away those sound cues.
Hello.
Gambit are fully moving.
Viper being tagged by a Sova drone. I feel that in my bones.
How much can you really do? I mean, with full utility, Team Liquid have an easy plant. We've seen this
That snakebite was very slow.
snakebite strategy of practically no success. So far, and then once they go back to these post plants, they out aim you on range every time.
And Nat still has his wall, but again, it's whether he actually wants to put it into this round. He's going to take the head off Navira, though. The flank at least gone, and they could just fall back and save a rifle. Instead, he is going to try and wall up. There is absolutely no way this works, but he gets rid of Scream as well. And Shados will fall to the hands of Soulcats. Again, a couple of kills. I don't think it's going to play any part in Ultimates because Nat's already had his online, and for the other side, still plenty of finances anyway. So somewhat irrelevant in terms of the purchase. And actually, Nats, this is one of the things that could have made a difference. So after he got the kill there, he could have gone back and actually picked up the rifle and saved that into the next round. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Tom says. Like, he's again playing with a Spectre, man.
To close this out.
Man, Nats is getting fucked over by him playing Sage. Sage is just so expensive to play because you're expected to use the wall and the slows like every round. And he is so fucked. He's like the third time buying Spectre on a full buy round, man.
That's at least 2 buy rounds coming out of Gambit. A force mixed in there as well. There's a whole lot of opportunity, but it's starting to feel more and more doable for Team Liquid. We talk about that 9 because of these two
Very
teams on
preemptive.
this map.
That arrow didn't even land yet. But the duration of the smoke is longer than the duration of the arrow, so he can do it before.
Well, it hasn't come into fruition just yet. Team Liquid.
Ooh, wait. That setup is very brave. This is very brave. I'm not sure I like this because the thing is, no one is controlling belt now, right? When you do this setup. So Jet cannot hold this angle anymore, and she has to hold belt. If she holds belt, no one is holding this, right? And she's baiting for Shadows. And Shadows has like all of this util. So he's essentially a Reyna right here. And what I always say, 1-for-1 on defense is not good. Like, it's always deficit for defense. It's always advantage. If you go 1-for-1, it's advantage for attackers, right? Advantage attackers if you go 1-for-1. So this player here is expected to go 2-for-1 while this player is expected to bait for him and just dash away without a kill, most likely, right? So this player needs to kill 2 players, which is very ambitious. Very, very, very ambitious. Why are they not playing the other way around and just swap the guns? If they, like, I don't think this is the round you want to do it when your Jet has operator. That's the conclusion. If Jet has a Vandal here, she stands instead of KO. KO does this, what she does for him now. That will be my assumption.
It hasn't come into fruition just yet. Team Liquid with a super slow early stage.
No!
And they won't quite get that opening kill, although to me it looked on.
Yeah, the magic trick this time doesn't wow the crowd quite as much as usual. And 2 players. Why actually get spotted here? Did he just deny the drone? I think it has
He used the look where he used the dagger.
Why actually get spotted?
See the dagger? He used it in this spot for 2 reasons. He denies the drone. It's the fastest that you can throw the dagger to. It's like instant. It doesn't have any travel time. But also, it most likely says, I'm not standing here.
Here. Did he just deny the drone? I think it had to be shot anyway, but they've left Shados behind. If he wasn't spotted, this could be...
But look, in this, he needs to get 2 kills here. Going 1 for 1 is terrible.
Snake in the grass that ruins things for Team Liquid. They're going to come sneaking through. Oh, I think it was a bit of an off position from Shados.
Yeah, I don't like this at all, man. I really don't like this at all. Will you play today? Yes, I will.
Jump off it rather. The peak comes around, ruining his day entirely. The operator, not deterred, Defo will stay aggressive, but there will be no reward found for that. And Gambit again locked out of the site. Nats has a res, so if they can manage to fight themselves forward, that should be pretty easy to get Shados back online. But look how aggressive Team Liquid are being because of this. They do not want to give any space to Gambit on this retake. They want to make them fight for every inch. There's quite a lot for them to work with in terms of util, and I think Gambit are realizing you're not winning this round. Even saving, though, is going to be pretty difficult because Team Liquid are throwing themselves at those players. Try and drop the weapons out of their hands.
Yeah, they might as well chase it. They've got plenty of finances available to them. I think... Oh, such a late...
That was a hit. Yeah.
Soulcast manages to jump out, and the remaining players, they may be on the chase, but I think Gambit are going to be able to save. But yeah, I've quite liked the afterparts of Liquid so far. They have been quite aggressive in the way that they've played, but with Scream's ability...
I don't know, Keo. We'll see.
And then just basically denying that space, having the slows available as well from Link to just stop this pushback into the site. And the fact that I feel like, again, the same for both teams, these aggressive plays really haven't been working. I liked the idea from the sort of bait and switch of Defo and Shados, but of course timing played a little bit of a part. But the other thing was there wasn't really an out for Shados. He basically had to get that kill and then run away, which I feel like chances of success are fairly small.
That's... So what Tom said is like what I said with different words. Because what Tom said is that Shados needs to get 1 kill and get out of that situation. But the reality is that he cannot get out of that situation like at all, so he needs to get 2 kills for a positive outcome. But it's like exactly the same message done by me and Tom.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where they take a few risks, it doesn't pay off, and now I start to get even more worried. I mean,
would you say that Liquid could have one of Yampi and Scream has hit their shots? It doesn't matter because Liquid plays like ranked.
3 chances to close it out.
You know?
Duel going in favor of Yampi, and that is the operator gone. I mean, look for Gambit.
It's insane how good Tom is doing the analysis live. Yeah, he's actually way better than he was at the beginning of his Valorant career. We speak often, and I always send him a kind message, because whenever I watch him casting a game, I'm like, it's so nice, man, that he's actually noticing this stuff, because it's something that I would always, like, you know, say in the analysis talk. Or what is even more important, both Hypok and Tom, they actually very carefully listen to the analyst desk whenever we work, and they try to ping pong the stuff that we say on analyst desk to make like a connection together with the broadcast. It's very nice because it sets up like expectations and like continuity of the knowledge that is being transferred between the segments, but also that the viewers get, if the viewer is paying attention, he's getting the message, oh, like, oh, interesting, so this actually works out, you know?
This is another round that they can kind of throw away. They don't have to be too upset if it doesn't end up going in their favor.
And it works both ways because, you know, I pay attention to what they say during the cast, so I can also have like connection with them because of that.
They're starting to build up the momentum, and that's where I think a lot of their power is coming from. Oh, this is dangerous.
It's eco round.
Yeah, the drone has caught him up close.
Oh, the cursed drone. There's a reason you're always going to see Sova played on this map, and that is basically it. Denies any of that space being taken. Same after plant again for Liquid, and a Chronicle that there's a very good argument for him just running away with this operator. Like, maybe he wants to try and get a kill towards his ult, but chances of victory slim to none. They haven't been able to do it with rifles. I don't know why they think they can do it with a solo operator, but
I don't know if I'm gonna be playing ranked after this map. It depends. Maybe I'll just watch the second map of Team Liquid.
They really don't have a lot of credits on the Gambit side. This is strange to see them
Wait, what?
committing to it. Shade has an
Oh, Jesus. Wait, what? Are they winning this?
opportunity converted.
No.
Oh, they really don't have a lot of credits on the Gambit side. This is strange to see them committing to.
Too bad there's no minimap here. There should be a minimap during this thing.
To it. Shados has
It's 3 versus 2. Solkas just goes... He has no util. What the fuck did I just witness? He's holding still the backside.
converted.
Viper is just caught out of positioning. In a... Dude.
Shot from Chronicle on the money. Solkus not actually really having that much time on his side.
What is happening?
He's out of ammo.
What the fuck did I just witness?
Gambit have got the map.
Why he jumps? He jumps because he wanted to check if someone is standing on the stairs, but that was totally unnecessary.